Hey guys, welcome back to People's Real Talk. I am Raymond. This is my wife Victoria. Sorry we've been gone for a little while, but we are back and we will be giving you guys more videos. All right. Today we're gonna be talking about a couple of different things while we're enjoying our dinner here. So um, I'm gonna let my wife chime in here and tell us the first thing we're gonna be talking about today.
Okay, hey guys. So today I thought we would talk a little bit about a topic that we tend to hear a lot floating around, and people are on different sides of the argument as it comes to this topic. We often hear people say, "What do you bring to the table?" That's how they phrase it, or they'll say, "How do you feel about 50-50?" So today we're going to delve a little bit into our stance and our perspective on the whole 50-50 versus what do you bring to the table sort of argument, and, what we think about that. That cool?
Yep. So you want to start?
You go ahead. You can start.
Okay. So first, in my opinion, I think that the 50-50 thing, honestly, I don't know who created it. And I think it can vary from person to person, couple to couple. I myself think that as your partner, you should just be willing to help each other. You shouldn't put a percentage on it 80-10, or I'm sorry, no, 80-20, 60-40, 70-30. I feel like I know traditionally men, we were raised to, provide, which is nothing wrong with that, and do it all. But we also know certain circumstances can happen. So um, I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna let you chime in on that.
First, I want to say some men were raised that way. Now, we're talking about generations and generations and generations past, then yes, that's how things were. They were very traditional gender roles. The women or the mother of the house, she was a stay-at-home mom. She reared the children, she took care of the home, so on and so forth. And the husband or father of the house, he went out, he worked, he was a provider, he was the protector, so on and so forth. Traditionally, years ago, that was the stereotypical gender role that people took on. But everybody was not raised in that fashion or didn't have that as a guide or model for how they would later run their households. Um, so I do agree wholeheartedly with my husband that when it comes to the whole 50-50 argument, I don't believe there that you can effectively put um, um, a quotient, so to speak, to how you're going to divide the duties in the household, because we're in a different age, different day, different time. There may be instances where there can be no 50-50. There can't even be a 60-40, 70-30. I just feel like both people, when you sign up and you make the decision that you're going to come together and become one and be in a partnership, it should be just that, a true partnership, right?
Absolutely.
So, wherever there is a need or there is a lack, the other person should be willing to come in and pitch. So, if that means that I'm the one that went to school to get higher education and I have a higher paying job because of my degree, and maybe my partner is not in that position, but they are in a position where maybe they can contribute to the household outside of the home for work, but we're not equally yoked as far as pay, but they can contribute as far as taking care of things around the house. It doesn't have to be the same traditional roles, and vice versa. I just feel like you have to be willing to get in there, jump in, roll up your sleeves, get your hands dirty, and do what needs to be done for the betterment of the household in general. Period. None of that. Well, I put in my half, you put in your half. That's stupid. That's silly, and it's immature. And if you want your household to truly thrive, you need to be willing to do what needs to be done.
Yeah. So God forbid, something happens, I'm working, something happens, and I expect my wife to step up and at least until I can get back up. So that's why we say we're not going to really put a percentage on the split like that because you never know. Again, life circumstances happen, and the same with her. She would expect me to jump in there and hey, take it over. Stick it out until she can get back to where she needs to be.
Right.
So, like I said, I think it's okay if it works for you, but we have a lot of years in this game, and this is what we've come to find out that works for us. And we definitely encourage anybody to chime in. So, you have anything else to say?
Um, Not necessarily as it relates to that topic. I think that's pretty clear cut and dry. Um, but I do want to chime in on the whole, and we hear this a lot of times from men, especially. And I think a lot of times men don't understand why almost as soon as you ask a woman that she's instantly put you in a certain category or turned off or she's not viewing you the same. When you come out the gate and you're asking a woman, what do you bring to the table? There are so many other ways that you can word that. Like, it's basically saying without saying, what can you do for me? Like, imagine going to a job interview and the first question out their mouths is, what can you do for this company? You're going to be like, y'all had a now hiring sign outside, or y'all were looking for people. What do you mean? What do you mean? What can I do for you? Like, you looking for somebody to? So it's kind of, it's almost like you pedestalizing yourself and saying, what are you gonna do to add to me? And if you don't have what I deem as important or valuable to add to my pot, then I don't want anything to do with you. But the reality is, how many women do you know, or people just in general, unless they're just immature and takers, don't come into a relationship with the newness of hoping that things will grow and flourish and you can become better people together. Like, now, if you getting with a partner who is just a taker, 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 then maybe you need to look more at yourself and the people that you're picking. But I think asking somebody, what do you bring to the table, especially a woman, because I know for myself, I don't take too kindly to that question because I know me. I'm a nurturer. I support. I uplift. I build you up. Like, anybody who has ever known me knows that I'm a cheerleader. Like, I'm gonna help push you along the way. I'm gonna encourage you. I'm gonna motivate you. I'm gonna check you when you're wrong and defend you also and support you and all those things that we're supposed to do. So it's like asking somebody what do you bring to the table to me is crazy. Like I said, I feel like there are so many different ways that you can kind of see where a person's mentality and their headspace is before you get into a relationship with them or try to take it any further than asking that basic blanket question like, if you watch the show Pop the Balloon, it's almost instantaneous. As soon as a man will ask, "What do you bring to the table?" You'll hear fireworks go off, like pop, 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 pop.
Mm.
The women are just going crazy because we're sick of that question. And like, not I don't know who this woman was, and I hate to steal her phrase, but sister, whoever you were, um, that said that you hit the nail on the head. Like, literally, it sounds cocky, but in reality, us women are the table, literally, because whatever you bring to us, we multiply it, we make it better, we grow it, we do so much. So she said that, think of it like this: anybody sitting at this table either came in me or from me. Excuse my French, but I mean, and that's true. It's like we created the life or made it possible for you to be able to have a means to create the life. So, go ahead. What do you think?
Okay. But yeah, yeah. I mean, everything you said is true. So, but I was gonna say, the whole what do you bring to the table? Like, I expect my wife to, just as she said, the support, you know, make a house a home, type of things like that. So a lot of people, when they ask each other that, to me, it seems like it's more of a business agreement between two people. Um, and what are you really expecting it, with that question? I mean, are you expecting, some materialistic stuff? Because if you have a good person, they're gonna bring something, and you're just gonna balance each other out. So if it's the support, if it's just the helpmate, just a cheerleader, like my wife said, those things are huge. It doesn't have to be material, it doesn't have to be money, it doesn't have to be status or fame or any of things like that. Because all of those other things matter as well. So if she puts in some, I put in some together, that's all we need. That's all we need to build a good, healthy relationship. So that's just kind of my take on that. Um, don't really like the question when people ask that, because I really don't know what they're expecting to hear. But I just know that what I would expect, and it's not probably the average thing that a lot of guys would expect, because I look at the small things as big things. Just some of the things that I mentioned before. So yeah, that's what I think.
And correct me if I'm wrong, ladies. Please get down in the comments, light it up. I mean, be kind. Don't start arguments with people, but tell us what you think. Like, do you hate to hear that question, or do you not mind answering that question if somebody kind of puts you in the hot seat and asks initially, first meeting, what do you bring to the table? Um, how do you respond to that question, or do you appreciate it? Do you not mind it? Just comment below and let us know how you feel about that question.
Guys, I want to hear you as well, please, um, because a lot of you I don't know, um, as well as women, us men, we ask that question, and I'm curious to know what some of the guys think out there as well.
Yeah, like from the male perspective, what is your thought process for asking that question? Like, please help us out because I don't think that y'all realize that women are not really appreciating that question.
Mm.
So please help us out to know what direction you're going in when asking that question. So maybe so many of them won't be instantly offended and turned off as soon as they hear that. So
think that about wrap it up. This one.
Yeah.
I think that'll about wrap it up. Again, please, ladies and gentlemen, please just like and please comment on what you think about this topic or the last topic we talked about as well. Um,
Help us out. If you
Please.
like the video, if you watch our content, if you're enjoying our content, if you want to hear more from a couple that has been long standing in the game, we have been married for 28 years.
28.
We've been through the trenches.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of ups, downs, trials, tribulations, all of that. We can give you a lot of different perspectives. We can give you advice. If you ask it, if you have any specific questions that you want answered, feel free to drop any of that in the comments. And like I said, if you like our content, you want to see more from us, help us out. Like our videos, thumbs them up. That'll help push us out to the algorithm. Tell your friends about us, what we're doing over here on this channel. Just help support us in any way you can. We would greatly appreciate that. We love y'all so much for the support that we've gotten so far. We appreciate the feedback that we get from y'all when we hear some of you who have seen our videos. People asking us, when are we going to make another video? You know, sometimes we take a little pause in between a video because we have our own individual channels as well as this couple's channel. So, you know, we may be off doing other things, or life just could be lifing a little bit for us at the moment. So we may have to take a step back and handle us because after all, this comes first. So, but yeah, please help us out. Thumbs the video up. It don't cost you a lot. Like, while you watching this video right now, go ahead and hit that like button. Because you know we're going to be dropping, the good tea for you. Hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section. And if you make it to the end of our video, put a purple heart emoji. If you made it all the way to the end, put a purple heart emoji so we know you made it to the end. And if you did, we love you so much. We thank you all in advance. And yeah.
Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when we put out new content as well. So,
yeah.
All right, y'all. I think that's gonna do it for us today. And as always, thank you so much for joining us at People's Real Talk.
When we talk
to real people.